My first company, yes, it was a success. I founded it in school and at the age of 16. And
Welcome to The Executives, the show where we navigate in the intricate world of executive leadership, exploring strategies, insights, and personal stories of successful professionals shaping the global business landscape. I'm your host, Majid, and today we have an amazing guest with us, Andreas, co founder and CEO of KeepLocal. He is a maker and an entrepreneur with a lot of experience, and I would love that we talk about his startup and leadership. Hello and welcome to the show, Andreas.
hi, Majid. Happy to be here.
Can you quickly introduce yourself for the audience?
Yes. Hi, I'm Andreas. Have a wonderful wife. I have two lovely sons, and yes, I'm entrepreneur since 25 years. I founded several companies, and my current company is a fast-growing startup with the name KeepLocal.
Awesome. I have a lot of questions today. I was struggling keeping the number of questions so we could make an episode like only 60 minutes because it's entrepreneurs are something I absolutely admire. It's creating jobs, supporting the economy, so many things these guys are doing. So I have a lot of respect for entrepreneurs, risk takers. And our topic of discussion today will be innovating for a sustainable future with Keep Local, the
Mhm.
journey of Andreas, a maker leader transforming retail and technology. I
Sounds
am really
great.
excited. I'm,
Sounds
I'm
great.
really. I can see from your smile that you're also very keen on sharing some insights with me and with the audience.
Yes, of course, sure.
Awesome. Then, without further ado, let's jump right into it. Let's start with what inspired you to start Keep Local and what were the initial challenges you had?
Okay. So my co-founder Heidi had an experience a few days before Christmas in 2018, which led us to found Keep Local. So she was on a Saturday evening in the local drugstore at the line at the checkout and had 10 people in front of her. And all of these 10 people bought one of the gift cards from Amazon. And she was wondering, why can't you buy any type of local gift card here as easy as those from Amazon, from Apple, Google, and so on? And yes, she watched all these people and thought about how many money is our local economy losing by gift cards. Yes, and a few weeks later we met, and she told me about her experience and the problem and she would love to solve. And yes, I at this time I was working at my company before, which made POS software for delivery services, food delivery services, and therefore I yes had a lot of experience in building software that handles money. Yes, and so she told me from her experience and about the problem and if I would have an idea how to change it. We met again, we checked the market, and then a few weeks later we founded Keep Local.
That's amazing. Simple problem that you
Super
solved,
simple.
but and crazy to see that how much business, small, like local businesses, actually, how much money do they lose at the end of the day because of something as simple. And it's good that we have someone who actually cares about these small medium businesses, who are local businesses as we call them. So that's really cool, and I would love to understand what exactly is the core vision and mission of Keep Local.
Our mission is to keep as much money local as possible and to empower the local economy. And therefore, we have a strong North Star that says that we want bring local gift cards and local employee benefits everywhere and easy to use.
Hmm. That's you mentioned North Star, and this was I got this question from someone. Um, it was he's trying to be a founder, and now you're a very seasoned entrepreneur. How should you define a North Star? Like for you, you mentioned it very simply. Anyone can immediately connect when you tell them your startup idea, and then you tell them, "Hey, this is what we want to do." It's very simple to connect the dots, but North Star is sometimes very difficult to craft or create, right? So
Exactly.
how or what advice would you give someone who's an entrepreneur trying to find this North Star metric?
Um, yes, the North Star should be an very huge goal. And if you check every decision you make in your company, in your startup, you should always check if it fits or if it leads you nearer to this North Star. So if you want to develop a new product, just always have in mind, is this helpful to reach our North Star easier or faster? And so as we when we defined the North Star, we had a lot of ideas how it what it could be. Is it only a number? Is this an amount of gift card sales or whatever? But we wanted to keep it a little bit abstract, a bit yes universal, um, and yes, we also have this North Star metric, which is some KPIs like number of POS or gift cards sold and so on. But the North Star is only the huge goal. Um, yes, that the company is oriented on the path to its success.
Interesting. Because I feel it's also experience, right? In the whole, like I have not seen many people defining a North Star so easily connected with the storyline. It's not easy to do that. So let's take a step back, and I would love to understand because you have been doing entrepreneurship for the last 25 years, as you mentioned. So, what inspired you? Because entrepreneurship is not a path everyone wants to take, or it's very risky. It's not the easiest as compared to a job. So, what made you become a hey? I want to be an entrepreneur. I'm a business guy.
Uh, okay, the true answer is I always wanted to earn a lot of money. And I've learned that if I go to a 9 to 5 job, this is impossible. You have to found a company and have built a great team, built a lot of people, and then you have a chance to make a lot of money. But that's not, of course, not the only thing. The other is that you can do your own thing. You can work when you want and where you want. Decide if you don't want to work for a day. Of course, the workload is so high that this decision is quite easy because you always have to work. But that's another problem of an entrepreneur. Of course, if the company gets bigger and you have more people, then you will also have a bit more quality time with the family. But yes, that's the case. So it's yes, if you want to develop yourself to gain it's yes freedom and you should become an entrepreneur, but of course the risk is high and the load you have to take is also heavy. Times are not always very good. I have no idea how often I was nearly bankrupt in the past. But
Oh,
yeah, that's the case, and that's the truth, and a lot of other startups or entrepreneurs will say the same.
and was your first venture that you did? Was it like a success or no?
My first company, yes, it was a success. I founded it in school and at the age of 16. And it was a small company that just builded computers. So in 1998, this was still a quite good use case because there was no Amazon where you can buy hardware very cheap. So it was a profitable model, and I sold a lot of computers to my school and to some other customers, and it was quite fun. The second company I founded was, yes, a fuck up. I founded it 1 year later, parallel to the first one. And at this time, LAN parties were quite often visited. And we wanted to I founded a company together with my family, and we wanted to establish an equipment rental service, and we bought a lot of equipment, and we also made some LAN parties with a lot of people, but the hardware we bought was outdated so fast that it never refinanced, and then we closed the companies a few years
Okay.
later. Yes.
Interesting.
But
Now,
the first one was successful over many years, and then was split into two other companies with a new focus, of course. And in the meanwhile, I have exited them successfully.
mhm, mhm. I see. Cool. Okay. So now, if you, for example, this is a hypothetical question, but if you had a time machine right now and you could go back to 1998, before the Andreas who started the computer business started the business, what would be the one thing you would tell that Andreas?
Never give up.
Easier said than done, right?
Exactly. You can't imagine how many times I thought about closing the company or the companies and just search for an easy 9 to 5 job.
So what keeps you motivated? Because I have a lot of friends and I've met a lot of people who are like, "Hey, Majid, we have a stable income, we have this idea, it's doing okay, but sometimes we feel like no, we cannot do it, so we want to quit that." So what is like? How do you convince yourself to get up every day and not give up? Like you said, never give up, right?
Yes, I some years ago I've learned that the difference between a successful and a failed entrepreneur is only one thing: never give up. Because the one that keeps on going and goes further and further um, is the one that will succeed at the end. So also, if you have a failure or a fuck up, just start the next thing, and then it will become a success.
Mhm.
Of course, if you do things better than the last time.
True, that's true. I mean, even in when you have a job, I have worked a lot in jobs over the past 10 years. Product management, I've seen products being collapsing completely. Uh, a few million euros spent on product, but it did not go how the business analyst team predicted it would go. Went completely opposite. A lot of due diligence was done, and but didn't work. So, and the next time they came back, they said, "Hey, it's okay. We lose money, but we will come back stronger." So we learned a lot, which is interesting because it's. I mean, yes, we read this, yeah, never give up as well in many books. I've read a lot of, but whenever someone who has actually been through that journey, 25 years is not less time. It's a lot of time that you have pushed through. You have been pushing through, and I don't know how many times you wanted to give up, but it is definitely more than 1 or 10 times probably. So but you fought that urge, that no, I'm going to continue, I'm going to keep pushing forward because this is what I want to do, this is what I want to be. And the question now, let's go back towards Keep Local. Has it happened in Keep Local that you were like, no, this is too much, we are struggling to compete against, for example, you mentioned Amazon gift cards, Amazon or someone else? Were there circumstances where you were like, no, this is not going to work or something like that?
Yes, I had a lot of times where I wasn't sure if we should pursue the goal of Keep Local, but it it's worth it because we have a lot of impact. But in the beginning, it was really hard. We started during COVID, and we didn't know how to reach the partners because the stores were closed. We couldn't reach them by phone because they weren't at the store, and yeah, so on. There were a lot of times we needed money because our initial plans didn't work, and so on. and now scaling is also quite hard. Fundraising is challenging at the moment. So we also thought about, let's yes, shrink the company to be profitable and grow slowly, but that's nothing we want. So I've already mentioned that I've already exited two companies, so I've already earned a quite bit amount of money, um, and I want to build something big now. I'm over 40 and I want to build something big before I, yes, retire. And Keep Local is a good thing. We have this huge impact of keeping our cities livable and vital, and keep a lot of small stores. And for this thing, I want to have an impact, and this is what, yes, gives me the power to stand up every morning very early and do, yes, get all these things done.
Interesting. So you mentioned one thing that you said you want to build something big and then you want to retire. So I remember meeting someone who's also a very seasoned entrepreneur. He said, Majid, the problem with people who are makers is they will never retire. They will finish building one thing and they will take a break, but then they will be so bored, they will come back. No, we need to do something new. Do you feel that's going to happen?
Absolutely sure. But I have an plan. If I really achieve this goal and can make a really big exit, I want to use this money to empower other entrepreneurs or startup founders, also to build companies as a business angel or a super angel or whatever.
Mm.
Especially, we are based in the Saarland, which doesn't have such a really good and big startup scene, and I want to empower this region to become a good place for startups, because we have good universities and so on. But we are really missing VCs that support the startups. My fundraising is also very Berlin and Munich based, and so for this reason, I would love to build a better startup scene, especially regarding funding in the Saarland. So I think that's something that could happen in the future.
I would be following for sure, understanding what you're up to. And now you also mentioned when you were answering the last question about that you were thinking at one point of downsizing, for example. It's one of the hardest things that when you have to tell your team who you love, who you really admire, they're doing good work and everything is fine, but you're not able to pay them anymore. So let's talk about decision making. Sometimes you have to make like really extremely complex decisions, which has a probability it might be right and it might be wrong. So how do you make sure that the decision is in the best interest of the company and the people and the culture of the company?
Okay, so I think I should say I'm really making decisions is quite easy for me. I've learned this. Um, Also, hard decisions are I can make them quite quickly. They won't always be right, of course. Um, but what I've learned is that you have to talk to your team. You have to involve them. You have to, especially, we have a very diverse team, and when we make these decisions, you should um, have the ideas and the thoughts of different points of view. And with the diverse teams, you have this. Of course, if I would ask my team, um, should we, yes, let someone go, fire someone to decrease the costs or whatever, everybody will say no, of course not. Then do your fundraising better or whatever. But this is a decision you have to make on your own, or maybe with your C level, but not all the stakeholders, all the people you have in the company. Yeah. So how do I make it? I talk to different people. Sometimes it can just be my wife. That's always included in harder decisions. Yes, and of course, as I already mentioned, always look at your north star. So if you have a decision, for example, for yes, should we go this way or this way, and then think about your north star, and if it is paying on your goal, go for it.
Interesting, interesting. Because this is something I was like multiple times I've been asked this question. Hey, there is a chance I will fail. The decision will be wrong. I'm like, and my answer is, we are human beings. We might make wrong decisions, but we are trying
Exactly.
our level best.
Yes,
And I think you have a lot of experience. You have seen a lot of things that I have not even seen right now. I've only 12 years, so I'm half of the experience you have. So there is still so much for me to learn. And that's why I'm also doing the whole of the show, that I want to learn from people and share the insights of people. Like, for example, you, with people who are trying to follow your path, who's the next generation of entrepreneurs. So you also mentioned that you would love to become a business angel or start a support system in Saarland. um, I don't know the exact population of Saarland. How big is it? Is the
we have a bit less than 1 million citizens.
Okay? So it's not that big. It's not,
No, no,
mm,
it's um, yes. Berlin has 3.5 million, so it's much smaller, and it's a whole state.
yeah, that's
Yes,
true.
I just want to add something. I said before, I have no idea how many bad decisions I made, but
Mm,
if you make a bad decision and you see the results and that it was bad, you must learn from it because intelligent people learn from their failures and make it better, and dumb people always do the same.
mm.
So
Yeah.
you have to learn, and then you become better. And if you have to make the same decision again, you can think about the last one and just make it better.
Mm. I remember reading, I think it was Twitter or something. The first time it's a mistake, the second time it's uh, stupidity, and the third time it's a habit.
Exactly. And that's it. On point.
On point. Okay, cool. Now let's talk about sustainability, because Keep Local, you mentioned that it's to help the local businesses. So how do you or Keep Local integrate sustainability into the business model and also the operations?
Yes, there are a lot of aspects you have to look at. On the operational side, of course, we this is all the things where we can have a directly impact. For example, um, our gift cards are only paper, so there's no plastic on it, and they are fully recyclable. Just an easy example. Or we don't drive gas cars; we only have electric cars. Um, So for this reason, that's where we can have a direct impact in the company. And then the indirect impact, for example, if you buy something, especially fashion, in a local store, of course, we all know fashion is not really sustainable. But if you buy fashion in a local store, and you can try it if it fits, and if not, you can just choose another size. If you order it online, you will also have the the return of the package. And in this point, the footprint is so much higher, especially depending on where you order it. You don't know, will it be shipped again, or will it put it on the trash? And especially then, the CO2 footprint is so much higher. Yes, so that's one thing about sustainability where it's indirect. So if you let's get back to the Amazon example. If you buy a gift card from Amazon and you will shop some clothes from it, um, the impact will be higher when you return something. Uh, the footprint will be higher if you return something compared to shop it local, for example. And that's the environmental aspect, but there are even more. We have this social impact because think about all the smaller stores in our cities would close. We would lose a lot of jobs. Um, yes, a lot of people, yes, would become jobless. Thanks. A lot of people would become jobless, and we would have these empty stores, and our cities would look, yes, lost. And so it's relevant to keep our local stores alive. And what we achieve at the moment is that we can really make a difference how many money is spent in a city. If we look at our hometown, St. Wendel, and if I see how much money our gift cards um, bring into the city, it's really amazing. And I think there are several stores that, yes, feel the difference, how many money we bring them.
Hmm. Interesting. And how old is Keep Local?
KeepLocal was founded at the beginning of 2019, but we started at the middle of 2020.
2020. Okay. And so since then, how many gift cards have been used, if you have an idea?
Um, since then, I think it was about 250,000.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
That's nice. So it would be more or less 250,000 businesses have been supported, or maybe less.
And no, much less.
Mm-hmm.
We have about 3,500 partners. So these
Mm-hmm.
are the supported ones. Um, but yes, that's the amount of gift cards that were sold
Mm-hmm. That's still good.
around.
That's still nice. I mean, normally, if I remember, and if you're buying an Amazon gift card or someone else's gift card, it's minimum 10 euros. So
Yes,
that's so let's say if it's 10 euros with you guys also, that's 2.5 million
yes.
euros.
And the average at us is about 35.
Oh, nice. That's good. So that's that's a lot. Almost 8.2 million, 8.2,
Exactly, around this.
something like that. Interesting. That's nice. And when I was studying and when I was making the questions, I was thinking, okay, so you guys want to support local community, but with the whole technology part, like Amazon or eBay or Etsy and so on, what role does technology play in Keep Local's approach to what you're doing to transforming gift cards?
Yeah, it's super important. Of course, everything in our system is digital. The only thing that is not digital is the printed gift card. But on the gift card, the codes, of course, are in the back end stored, and the whole redemption process, the clearing process, all these things are fully digital. And we are also switching to an API first technology, or yes, uh, that because we are integrating in more and more systems, not only the POS software, of course, where the gift card activation and redemption process is built in, but also for our employee benefit solutions that can be integrated in several HR tools and so on. For this, it's an yes, it's a lot of technology. Um, of course, it's not a deep tech thing or an AI thing or something like this. It's just normal software
Mm.
to say, of course, in the cloud and scalable and so on. And we also use technology like blockchain technologies for yes, for storing the gift cards and making them exactly yes trackable in every detail. But overall, it's just a piece of software.
Interesting, interesting. And because your focus is primarily local businesses, right? So, how do you support the local communities and businesses? Like, how do you make sure that the business you are onboarding or the partner, as you mentioned, is basically local?
Well, all of our partners do have any type of local business. That's important. And when we when a partner registers, Um, we check this, we check the license and the owner, and this is really a physical store and so on. We have to do this because of the BaFin, our local banking authority, because our gift cards must be usable in an area only, and this store must be in this area and so on. For this, we always check this, and we have also defined these regions, and whole Germany is splitted into about 60 regions that the customer knows and where he feels home, or feels as homeland or whatever, and therefore, um, yes, it's really a true local business. Of course, we are scaling over Germany and other countries within the near future, but all business is local, and therefore we have these regions, and the money for this region that is spent for the gift cards can only stay in this region and not leave it. And so it's really supporting the local economy, because yes, all business is local.
Interesting. Interesting. And now you just touched that you are expanding
Yes.
to Germany. So tell us more about that.
Yeah, when we started, we started with the first small city in the Saarland, which is our hometown, St. Wendel, and then we started with other towns, and then the first region at the beginning of 2021. The first region was onboarded with all these cities in the Saarland, and then we had the Saarland gift card. And um, when we founded the company, we only wanted to make a gift card for St. Wendel. But we've learned very fast that there's much more opportunities. And then we said, hey, let's do a gift card for the Saarland. And yes, this was at the beginning of 2019. And then the idea grow and grow and grow. And we learned that the problem we solve is an international problem. So we will go internationally. But one step back, after we have onboarded the Saarland, we started in other regions, and then all these bigger chain stores that didn't want to talk to us in the beginning now want to be part of KeepLocal. And when we will, or while we are onboarding them, even more came and said, "Hey, we also want to be partner of you, but we can't do the business only local in the Saarland or the Westpfalz or whatever. We have to roll out it over whole Germany. We can't handle a small region only."
Mm.
Because the gift card display, if we would put the Keep Local gift card for the Saarland in the Saarland on the display, then it would be empty in the rest of Germany. And
Mm.
so we have to roll out over whole Germany. And that's where we currently are. We are scaling, we are onboarding bigger chain stores over whole Germany to redeem the gift cards. And when we have enough of these partners, we will start to sell it, but also onboard a lot of smaller partners by using different types of automated processes, yes, to make it easy and fast and affordable for us.
Interesting. Interesting. And now, for example, if I have a friend who's in Munich or Bavaria, for
Yes.
example,
Yeah.
so if I were to send him a gift card, because it would be nice, I can give him something, he can go to a local shop there.
Yes.
So I will give him a keep local card, right? Not a vendor card. And then he can use it out of these, I don't know how many you have in Bavaria. He can use in all the shops in Bavaria.
Exactly. For example, this would be the Oberbayern,
Okay.
um, the Upper Bavaria gift card, and you could buy it online or in a store in Oberbayern, and then give it to him, and he could spend it there around in all the stores.
Interesting. And I remember I was when I was shifting from Berlin, from Düsseldorf to Berlin, I got a gift card for a shop, and it came in my post. And the problem with that was it was a shop in Düsseldorf,
Mm.
so now I wasn't going to travel back 4 hours to redeem the
Yes,
the
sure.
card. The intention was good, and then what I did was like I asked one of my friends. I was like, "Hey, I can send you a gift card. Can you just buy something for me and send it back to me via post?" So
Yes,
that's how I utilized that local card. It was, but it was for a specific shop.
yes, yes,
So that's why the whole problem. But I like this approach that if it's for the whole region, Upper Bavaria, or let's say NRW or Saarland or so on, it gives you more options.
yes.
Um,
You can choose from thousands of partners,
Interesting, and that's for sure growing all the time.
growing all the time.
That's
Exactly.
nice,
We
nice.
also have these gift cards for cities only,
Hmm.
and that's a quite interesting thing because there are a lot of people that want to spend an event and some happy time in their city. For example, we have one store where you can buy the Saarland gift card and the St. Wendel gift card, and in average, 50% of the gift cards that are sold are St. Wendel gift cards. The other 50% are Saarland gift cards,
Hmm.
which, when you look at it, yes, without emotions, um, no one would buy a St. Wendel gift card because in the Saarland gift card, you have St. Wendel and hundreds of different other partners. You have much more than in the St. Wendel gift card. But there are
Hmm.
so many people, 50% of the people, that love their town, their homeland, and they want to keep the money in the city.
Hmm.
It's really interesting.
I mean, I live in Berlin as well. I would love to support Berlin as much as possible
Yes.
because it's just supporting the local community, creating jobs. It's just I also like that local supporting the community part. And so, from a perspective of a customer, like if I would like I buy a card or I'm the one using it. So, how do you ensure that a unique and satisfying experience is through Keep Local?
Well, we make the customer experience as easy as possible. So you buy the gift card, in the checkout it is activated. Then you give someone the gift card, and the recipient can immediately redeem the gift card in our stores. If he doesn't know us, he might check our website where he can redeem the gift card, but there is nothing like a conversion or activation or anything needed. Um, because there are a lot of competitors that have this two-step process. You buy the gift card, you have to go to a website, you have to check where you want to redeem it, and then you have to convert the gift card into the gift card of the partner where you want to go to, then print it out and take the printed card and go to redeem it. We think that's much too complicated to have an attractive product, and therefore we made this one-step process: buy the card, give it to someone, and redeem it immediately.
Mm-hmm.
And additionally,
Interesting.
we have our KeepLocal customer app. Um, you can install it on your smartphone and transfer all the gift cards you have into the app, and then you have them always in your pocket, and it's much easier to spend them because we all have these gift cards that are anywhere at home, and you don't remember that you have them, and then they expire. So
That's a nice idea.
yes, just transfer it to your smartphone,
Mm,
and then the chance that you spend is much higher.
that's true. I remember I had this expired card and I was like, oh, I didn't even remember it was lying in one of my books. And like when I opened the book
Yes,
after some time, and like 2 years, and I was like, it's wasted, like
that's it. That's the case.
interesting. And that's true because I remember I have used gift card before where you have to do the two-step thing. It is really annoying because I had to actually physically print the paper
Yes,
because
that's the case.
I took a screenshot. I'm a guy with a mobile phone, I have a smartphone, and it was I think just before COVID 2019. Actually, no, it was 2020. And I took this screenshot and I said, "Hey, look, I have it here on my phone." And the guy said, "No, we can't accept it. We need the printed A4." I was like, "But I'm showing it to you. You can just like scan it, right?" And he was like, "Nope, we need the thing because we have to write over it." I'm like,
Yes, crazy.
interesting. And Because you just started before COVID, like COVID came in 2019, end of 2019, right? So how has Keep Local adapted to the changing landscape, especially considering now local businesses were the highest impacted in the
Yes,
pandemic?
yes. Um, it just was much harder in the beginning. The partners that we have registered were super happy because they were able to sell gift cards online, which they usually weren't able before. So it was an revenue stream for them while they were closed. So pay now, eat later.
Pain.
um, and yes, but the partner acquisition was much harder. When the lockdown came to an end and we could start to yes, to acquire more partners, more and more, and yes, then it became much easier. Of course, we also work together with cities and other local institutions for these trade associations or something like it that help us to win new partners and that work as multipliers. But in the beginning, it was really hard because nobody knew us. We were super new startup. You know, the trust level of new startups is not that high. So yeah, that's it.
So was this like one of the biggest challenges you faced?
Um, in the beginning, it was a challenge. I don't know if it was the biggest one. I think one of the biggest one, at least at the moment, is fundraising. But yeah, it was one of the challenges we handled.
Hmm. And you're currently in the process of fundraising.
Exactly.
The market is very weird right now.
The market is very weird right now. Exactly. So it's going further and further, and I still think that we will filter around successfully, but it's not that easy at the moment.
Yes, you will. I'm sure. I'm positive because I think
Thanks.
the idea you have is it solves a problem and it opens up, like in the ripple effect for the local community. The impact is massive, you
Yes,
know.
the impact is
And
massive. The market is huge. We are
mm,
talking about a several billion euros market only in Germany.
oh,
So the market is really big enough, especially with the employee benefits and our meal vouchers. And so it's a really, it's an incredible huge market. And so we have proven that we can reach relevant market shares in the smaller scale, of course. But if we are able to roll out over Germany, the figures will become quite nice quite fast.
that's nice. And you have not raised any money till now, right? This is the first
Uh, we
you
have,
have raised money.
yes, we
Okay,
have.
interesting. Is the figure public or it's?
Uh, it's on Crunchbase.
Okay, it's on Crunchbase.
So
No, no, because not every startup has their how much they raised on
yes,
publicly listed. So
yes,
okay,
we
interesting.
it's public. So if you want to see it, look at Crunchbase.
I will check afterwards. Interesting. And what strategies have you employed? Because you started during a pandemic, which
Yes,
really did hurt local businesses a lot. And since then, you have grown a lot. Like we just calculated roughly 8.2 million, of euros worth of vouchers spent for on local businesses, which is a lot of money. So, what strategies have you employed to grow the Keep Locals presence and also customer base?
yes. So we tried a lot of things. We have learned a lot of things. At the beginning, we built a big sales team to acquire new partners, um, and it was the right decision at this time because we needed a lot of them, of the smaller partners. The bigger ones didn't want to work with us because we were still too young and too small. And but then we have specialized the teams. We are in the process from getting to departments, switching departments to product teams, and so there's a lot of development, also a lot of development on my side, on on Andreas. um, I always say I have learned on my own development in the last 3 years was as least as much as in the 20 years before. Because the other companies I built, they grew very slow. They have reached 20 employees after 7 years. Um, and at KeepLocal, we are now 29, and we entered the market 3 years ago. So it's growing quite fast. And also regarding how we built a team, it's, as I mentioned, a really diverse team. You have totally new challenges than I ever had before. And yes, you have to handle them. And I love this. I love this developing myself, um, reaching new goals every day. And so, yeah.
Hmm. And because it sounds very simple, but there is still innovation involved. You need to think, how would you categorize this regions, for example. Like you mentioned, you have this Upper Bavaria. I never thought of it this way. I knew like you have states and then you can do it cities. That's, I think, your own logic how you categorize it, right? Upper Bavaria and so on. So can you share a specific instance with us where innovation played a key role in solving a problem or improving Keep Local or its offerings?
I don't know if there is such a huge innovation on it, because gift cards are not new. They are on the market since, I don't know, 50 years at least. And so there's not that huge innovation. The new thing is that we make an established product, which is the gift card, redeemable at thousands of local stores, which is, yes, some kind of better type of a city voucher, easy available everywhere, which is the USP of the gift cards from Amazon and Apple and so on. So we combine three things that are, yes, existing, that have a huge market share in a new way that the customers really love. And that's the innovation, which is not such a new thing.
Sometimes, like that there's a quote, or I've read this. Sometimes the easiest or the simplest things need to be done, and they have a lot of revenue potential.
Absolutely.
I mean, it's I know gift card is not something new, but it's something, it's very like, it's the most convenient thing. If I
Yes,
am picking a gift, I don't know what the other person likes. What I will do is I'll just go take a gift card and give it to them, because then they have the flexibility of deciding what they really want.
exactly.
And it gives, because for example, I remember it was, I think it was before COVID. One of my friends had his son's birthday. It was his second birthday. And the problem is, if your child is like less than 3 years old, you don't have many options for toys.
Yes,
Toy options start at the age 3. And the problem was, I don't have any kids, so I just went to the store and I was asking the super nice lady. I was like, hey, can you help me out? So she pointed me towards some nice looking cars, and I said, okay, cool, I take this. And when I took the car and I went to my friend's house, I saw the same car 7 times.
yeah,
And I was like, oh man. And I told my friend, like, I can return it and I can get something else for you, or I can give you the cash, like, because I want to give something. It's you invited me because, and it's your son's birthday, because I felt very strange. There's 7 cars lying together and they're the same thing. And the kid was also confused, he was like, okay, so what do I do with these? Like 7 identical cars. So I think there also, it's very important. Um, Interesting. And so, what are your plans or upcoming projects for Keep Local that's going to take it to the level where you want to go to?
well, yes, the next step is the German-wide rollout, as already mentioned by the two strategies that are made, and we have a lot of things to do in automation. We have these product teams to build. Um, yes, and to enter the first foreign countries. So we want to go to Austria and Switzerland, and so yes, we have enough to do. And the next months, I think, will become not only challenging but also exciting, and they will show us if we can scale the whole thing. And
Mm-hmm.
I still believe that we have a very good opportunity to do this. Um, but we'll see.
Mm. No, I like the idea. It's, I mean, if I have a friend who's, for example, in Munich or somewhere else, I mean, I would love to give them a gift card
Yes.
with a single click, and
Yeah.
I don't know if that's doable, but I would love them that they get this card in their post, that with a note,
Yes.
hey,
We can do
XY.
this.
You,
Yes,
you
we
do that.
can. Yes,
That would be
we will
super
start.
nice, because that will make my life so much easy.
Yes.
And it basically includes like, hey, this is from this person. Otherwise, they would be thinking, okay, who sent us a gift card?
When our new shop is online, the first iteration will be online within the next 1 or 2 weeks.
Hmm.
You can buy a gift card that is sent via post to the recipient, also with a small message in it and a nice packaging. And on the hopefully we will have included Apple Pay and so on, and then you only have to choose which gift card you want. Do you want a greeting message, and in what layout should it be, and then immediate pay it with Apple Pay, and it's on the way. So um, that's the thing we want to make. Also, the digital type of gifting super easy.
Nice. That would be super nice. I would definitely use that.
Great.
And now, because we are also ending almost towards the end, so how would you describe your leadership style? Because I feel like so much we have talked. You're a super like calm, and then there are the leaders who are making like, "Ah, wah, wah, wah," uh, you're super calm. So how do you describe your leadership style and philosophy in running Keep Local and generally being an entrepreneur?
Um, so it has changed over time. In the beginning, I was quite authoritative. I said, "This is the way. You have to do it like that." But this has changed a lot. So I always try. It doesn't work all the time, but I always try to have a servant leadership style that to yes, empower my people, my team to reach the goals that we set up together. Um, and yes, to keep them motivated, to help them when they struggle um, wherever on a technical side or on a business side, whatever. So yes, I always try to be calm. That doesn't work all the time. Sometimes they can make me angry, you know. Um, but yes, usually I'm really more the calm guy,
Interesting.
which is not always the case inside me, but what the others see is the calm guy.
The other guys see like a relaxed Andreas, and inside it's like a whole parade going on.
Yes, this might be possible.
Interesting. And I remember I was sitting with a friend, and he was like, Majid, when are you inviting a startup founder? I said, actually, I have a recording soon with someone. And he was like, hey, can you please ask one thing? And he wants to be an entrepreneur. So, what advice would you give someone who's an aspiring entrepreneur who wants to make a difference? You know?
Yes, the advice I would give my younger self, of course, never give up, keep on going. But also, if you found a company, do something you really love. Don't found the company alone. Try to find a co founder that has the same passion, but very important, another background, another point of view. Um, Yes, I think that's the most important thing. Of course, you also need all these other things like a market, like a good product. Um, Try to find a product market fit before. Just a small story about KeepLocal. When we started, we had a super glossy marketing, yes, brochure, where the product was displayed and shown and what we all can do, and we have not written a single line of code. So all the marketing was done. We checked out the market. We went to partners, to cities, to mayors, to these trade associations, and so on. And we all showed them our new product that was super, super, super early stage. And then we tried to figure out, is there a market for our product? And the answer was yes. And then we started to build it. And that's something I would recommend to every startup. Really check if there is a problem you want to solve. Because you see so many startups that have fantastic ideas, but the product doesn't work because no one really has the problem and is willing to pay money for a solution. Yes, that is super fantastic, but doesn't solve a problem.
Hmm. Interesting. It's that's interesting because when I come from a product side, whenever I'm thinking of someone, my question is to myself, okay, if I was the customer, would I buy this?
Yes,
I
that's the
mean,
thing.
and if my answer is no, I will just like, man, let's think about something else. Interesting. That's very good. Cool, cool, cool. No, this has been very, very insightful. I mean, coming from a very experienced entrepreneur, it was really awesome learning about your experiences and expertise. And I'm very grateful and thankful to you, Andreas, for sharing all of this. And because we are almost towards the end, would you, Andreas, like to say something as a closing statement for our audience?
Keep on going and do what you love.
Awesome. Like keep local. It's a small and crisp
Yes.
line. Awesome. To our listeners, thank you for tuning in to the executives. If you found this episode valuable, don't forget to subscribe and share it with your network. Until next time, this is Majid signing off.